Interesting. And then from there as well could be Sunburn, and we can move it out from there into Hideout. Of course, we have all the options in the world right now.
It looks a bit confusing. It shows Sunburn here, but I think it might be Desert for sure. So Maddie, Dry River, and Desert if we get onto game number 3. And I honestly want to see this happen, so I will tell them to ready up. My body is ready.
Oh, mate, every time. For a series like this in ECL, I get up at like 1 a.m. to cast these. I am as ready as it gets.
Okay, then let me lose my hoodie. It's getting warm inside. Ay, ay, ay.
You're right, I need to turn that heater off. I'm getting hot flushes after this last game, seeing how that worked out. What have we got here? In the blue, playing as the Italians, we have AM's Nicov. Towards the top of the map in the red, we have SY's Paladins, also playing as the Italians. So, Italians looking like they're pretty much the basic go-to civ here on the first map.
Absolutely. So many advantages working for them. Cheaper fishing ship, cheaper up costs as well. Then the tags are cheaper as well. So many like discounts working so well for you as an Italian player. And well, and as we saw before, if we get into that early imp scenario, Condotieros can help you out as well. They feel like one of the strongest civilizations. I personally feel other civilizations aren't really tested out to their full potential. Maybe Malians are considered to be strong. Japanese are kind of catching up there as well. Maybe Berbers or Portuguese. But for now, people agree Italians #1. And that's why we see it every single time here on Mediterranean.
And that's exactly it. With such a strong civ, it's an obvious choice to lead with your best, get you into a good position of that best of 3 status. Of course, if you get the first game, it means the pressure's off you a little bit. Really, it puts the pressure onto your opponent, though, because it means if they lose the next game, they're out of there. So they've got to be very careful, basically, in their commitments. They have to play that second game a lot safer, whereas it means if you've got that first game, you can get a little bit more aggressive. You can put your opponent on edge. It just puts you in a great situation to win it from there.
Yeah, I love that. And oh, look at that interesting approach by Nicov. He only sent 5 villagers on sheep and sent the others earlier on the wood. Interesting. I never saw that before. Maybe I didn't take good care. Nicov, known to be a very strong Dark Age player. We have seen like 9 minutes, 5 seconds uptimes from him. And I'm curious how his build order will change.
I like it. I really, really like it. Anything you can kind of do to change the meta, make it a little bit harder for everyone to deal with. Because the thing is, especially in a game like this as well, where strategies are just, I don't want to say repeated, but refined so well, it means everyone gets used to kind of dealing with not a similar style of play, but you kind of realize what they're doing, and then you can kind of prepare yourself for that and get aggressive against it. When it kind of changes it up a little bit like this, and you have to play a lot more adaptive, it really shows you how good a player is rather than just how well they've memorized build orders or they know their counters. And here comes a dock from both players as well, and that water at the moment can be also impressive. But looking at the dock from Paladin, if it's going to go down where I think it's going to go down, ooh, that's a bit rough for him.
Not really any good deep fish around there. It's also a bit later compared to Nicov. He's getting his second boar into the TC already. At the other side, we have 190 food still for Paladin left. So different build orders though. And at the moment, I prefer the one from Nicov. Let's see. Maybe, especially with those short distances here, it's a bit more than one screen away. A better uptime of like 25 to 50 seconds could already be deadly.
I think it's exactly what we're going to see. It looks like Nikov's playing for a much faster... He was playing to get the dock up a lot quicker. He's playing to get a lot more food income just by how quickly he's managed to get the boar in here, and it's kind of working. To see such a quick uptime from him could really kind of just put a nail in the coffin straight away, especially just looking at Paladin right now. His fishing ship are going to be quite far away from his docks here, so he can kind of get caught out very, very quickly and very, very aggressively.
We'll see. We mentioned before the decrease of damage output from those fire galleys might be helping out, and now I want to see Nicov already getting Loom here, and that looks like he will click up, even have 2 sheep left. Goes for another sheep. I think that's not really necessary, only needs 425 food and is clicking up any second here. 924.
That's so quick.
But 930 followed here as well.
Whoa.
Both super on point.
Paladin knows what's up here. I love this. This has been phenomenal from both players. Such a quick uptime, but both of them know exactly what's going on. It shows you how well the meta on this map is starting to define. People know you need that early uptime. There's the 4 fishing ships out from Nicov. We should be getting our 4th one from Paladin, hopefully any second now. And it looks like, again, Nicov a little bit in front in terms of that, but here comes the ship from Paladin, and there we go. We're looking at equal economy footings now.
Uh-oh, Villager could be caught off guard here though. Paladin around with his scout, and he will soon be fuel edged, but Nicov knows what's up and is defending with his own scout. Second dog for Nicov, still not placed down. He has the mining camp, 5 on gold, double lumber camp, everything looks pretty solid. Paladin, he sends 2 villagers forward, low HP both. That's kind of risky. Could lose a villager there at the front. They will be somewhat exposed. And now taking a scout fight there against a guy who will be up faster than him.
Here comes the extra dock, and Nikov's got his dock up as well. Here we go. There's going to be a small production difference here for a minute. Because, of course, the uptime going to be a couple of seconds. But really, the fact it's a 2 versus 1 dock situation. And there we go. So looking very, very even here on the water. But, oh, man, the scout fight is still going down. I can see it over the top there. And it looks like he's going to just get away. Whoa, just 1 HP on that scout.
Okay, can go for the kill though, so all for nothing. And now those 2 low HP villagers that I mentioned before, he might need to wall them in. And you don't really want to have 2 villagers working there. Third dog somewhat early, but well, Nicov is getting his one as well. And they're both kind of working towards each other, something we don't see too often in Mediterranean. And now the fighting starts on water as well.
Here we go, the 2v1 versus this fire galley here, but there we go, there's the pop directly on time, making it a 2v2 scenario. The extra dock was up a little bit, so a fraction of a second earlier for Paladin. Going to give him a little bit of an advantage there, but we are talking minuscule at this point. Both players are playing to the second through their economy, just through everything of their build right now. This has been perfect from just about both players. Looking at the HP on these fire galleys, Nicov having a little bit of an advantage here. And it looks like he's going to be able to push out with a second one quite quickly. But here comes the pop from Paladin. It's neck and neck.
Oh, and it feels like the 6 seconds advantage there might have been just enough. It felt so weird. But has a bit more damage output and will have the W on the right-hand side chasing that down in the center. It's 3 against 2 fire galleys for now as well. Do we have a transition into demos? Not just yet. It looks a bit better for Nicov.
Nicov looking like he's in a very strong spot now. He's up by a pretty minimal amount when you actually look at it. He's got 3 chasing these 2 here, but end of the day, he's got 1 across the map on the other side there. We've got a 3-to-1 kill-to-death ratio, so looking really decent there in terms of his trades. But there's the demolition raft out from Nicov. Looks like he's going to try and make a difference here where he can.
But if you want to have demos connecting, you need high numbers from your enemy. Something that, well, Paladin is not really getting onto the map at the moment. Only 4 military units for him just yet. Big demo hits won't be seen. Let's take a look. Maybe some sneak behind the fishing ships. Well, maybe.
He's going to sneak behind, but recently we've had that patch, like I said in the last game, where they just don't do quite as much damage. And look at that maneuver of the demo ship. That was perfect. Getting in there for as maximum surface damage as possible and cleans that up so quickly. Again, looking to the military here, we've got 8-to-2. Nicov just looking so impenetrable here on the water.
Make that 8-to-3 even. Nicov. He's just in full control here. Let's take a look. Paladin, what is he doing? He switches onto demo rafts now. Nicov, is he continuing fire galley production? No. He already switches onto fishing ships, and I think that is the right decision because he kind of already won water.
That's it. I don't know if there's really much the Paladin can do at the moment to take water back. He's getting some demolition rafts out, can get some big hits here if he does want to, but the problem being he's only got 1 fire ship to really back this up now, and those demo ships are going to be forced to pop here in a minute as well.
Let's take a look. The split of Nicov is solid as well, and all those are having high HP as well. So maybe he can get one hit against two there, but that won't really be the great cost efficiency he is looking for. What is the transition here for Paladin?
What's this villager doing in bloody Nikov's base? That's what I want to know.
Well, he built an outpost, then went forward, but instantly spotted by Mr. Nicov. Now coming over with his scout as well. Should clear all of that up. We have two demo rafts for Paladin, and well, he's sending two villagers the very, very long way around the north now.
Oh wow, that's such a long run. We've got that one villager still running through, getting hunted down by Nikovs overall now. We've got the walls coming up towards the bottom of Paladin's base. It looks like he's getting ready to... Well, he knows he has to defend this. Nicov already heading up into Castle Age, so we've got useless fishing ships towards the top of the map for Paladin as well. This is not a good situation to be in. Nicov showing some sheer dominance here.
Oh man, on Castle Age already, how did he do that? He played a perfect Dark Age and then this massive amount of fire galleys. And yeah, he didn't care. He just went up to Castle Age directly behind that, added some of his fishing ship, but they couldn't really kick in yet. So his move to the deer really helped him there, as it seems. Now ward off to the left-hand side. We will see at the top, though, the redock of Mr. Paladin.
He's attempting to just get some of that eco back in, because those fishing ships have been just useless for so long now. Fire ship's coming out, so he's going to try and commit back to the water. As soon as Nicov hits Castle Age here, this is going to be rough. I'm not sure exactly what Paladin can do. He's stocking up his own resources to try and get up. He's finishing off the rest of his sheep there. But with his recommitment to water, I don't know if he's really going to have the resources to do too much here.
We'll see. Military count still not in his favor. Fishing ships for him, at least they are working properly, so that's nice. But stock count down to 2. Resources not too great, only now getting the market up. War galley upgrade instantly for Nicov. He had the advantage, and I think now he's going for the kill on the water.
Absolutely. With the advantage he's going to have, not only will he have more units there, he'll have higher upgrade units. They're going to be more efficient every single one of the trades he takes. He's just going to be in a really good position to hammer it home. Look at this. He's even guarding his fishing ships. He knew it was coming. He's going to try and deny it and deny that engagement until War Galley hits. Here we go. And there's the upgrade right on time.
Absolutely, and didn't lose a single fishing ship. Now gets the big damage output in there as well. Goes for the eco upgrade wheelbarrow.
Do you know what's amazing? Behind this, going up to 3 town centers as well. He is not sacrificing an inch of any of the playstyle.
Well, those fishing ships are really helping him out. Look at that, only one single farm, 1 villager on berries, and can still afford all the upgrades in the book, so that's just super sweet for him as well. Now we see Paladin, he's not really grouping up all his fire galleys to maybe get a big water control in Castle Age. He went for a lot of raids there and, well, did show all his cards kind of very early here in the late feudal age.
I don't know if I've really seen much of this kind of guerrilla tactic pay off for Paladin at this point. Ever since, again, that nerf to kind of the fire ship damage versus fishing ships, they're just less effective at getting in, kind of killing off all the fishing ships and running away, which, end of the day, I would say is kind of a little bit of a good thing. Just because it was so easy for him to just sneak in there and kind of just wreck them. But at the moment, just Nicov is playing just impeccably. I'm not sure where I can even fault him. Look at this, he's taking the coastline, he's getting galleys out so he can kind of start harassing that wood. He's forced the main gold back, so the gold in the back's gonna have to get taken now for Paladin. He's already got his wall up. He's putting up a siege workshop to look like getting aggressive. He's got 3 town centers behind this. This is phenomenal.
Indeed, now going for the barracks, trying to go for the aggression on the right-hand side. Something I'd love to see from him is Town Watch. Actually, to maybe see some potential sneaks to the right-hand side, which he is not seeing just yet. And Paladin, well, he goes for +2 knights there. He's trying to go for some raids, but the big difference to our Mediterranean game from before is that, well, Nicov is just ahead so much in the eco and well protected with all the TCs.
That's it. We've got a couple of stables getting thrown up by Paladin. Gonna try and, again, stay true to the name, get some knights out, do a little bit of play. But you know what we've got? We've already got the double monastery down from Nicov. How's that? Like, that's amazing, right?
Yeah, he saw the one stable with the house there and instantly added the second one. Now goes for a stable to defend himself. Palisade gates at home, defending his wood line. Might allow the knights in there though. Okay, not really happening. Locking the gates. And the monk defense, I think, should be fine defending on the water as well. 11 villagers ahead, 7 fishing ships ahead. If we want to fault him, maybe that he never killed the fishing ships of Paladin.
As far as the fault goes, I think we can live with that one. But we've got to find something, right?
I always will find something.
That's why I love casting with you. There's always something you can find in there. It's like, no, he could have done this. Whereas I'm like, impeccable. You're like, hey, he could have got those fishing ships.
Okay, well, let's see. Now Knight's moving in. He gets 1 conversion there, gets 2 conversions, saves the monk. Solid defense here for sure. Villager difference now up to 14. Fishing ship difference up to 11. The mangonel didn't really ever do anything because it was never created at the top. From the Siege Workshop. I love that he also added some war galleys at the front, blocking some of the wood and gold line. In the meanwhile, Paladin, he's playing this 1TC all in, kind of, against a guy who isn't even in real danger against that attack.
I don't know how I'm feeling about this right now, because look at the converts that are coming across. An extra Siege Workshop. We've had our 3rd monastery added in. Nicov is just spending dollar right now, making sure he cannot lose this. This is crazy to actually see. Look at the amount of knights he has in play, the monks behind this. We've got the Siege Workshop up and the monastery for Paladin though, putting down an extra monastery as well. Looks like he wants to get really aggressive. Obviously needs to start taking down some of these town centers, cutting into that villager count, because right now we're looking at 71 for Nicov against the 52 of Paladin. And has Paladin got any extra TCs up yet? No, like you said, staying with that 1 TC power play, but he needs to do the damage.
He's adding 1 TC now at the top. Sanctity for Nicov wants to give his monks some more HP. I think I want to see Atonement being researched for Paladin so that he can convert the monks of Nicov. Maybe can make some magic happen there. Nicov walling up the south and now it's trying to get some conversions. We'll get 1 knight. Let's take a look. Can he get more? Looks that he will stay fine with monk for 1 for now. Nice mangonel shots here. Less conversions than I thought.
Getting one of the scouts there. This is some good play from Nicov overall here. Trying to use those scouts to really get the monks. Getting his converts, looking pretty decent. A couple of good converts here. And here are the heals as well. That was some good converts. That was some really good converts.
Oh boy, and if you've ever seen someone not taking aggression seriously, that's Nicov. He sees, okay, you have mass monks, mass knights, and magnals there. Well, then I will just build a TC in your face.
That's it. He's just denying that choke point now. Look at how many knights he's got. Some of them converted, some of them made himself. And up to Imperial.
What? Where's that coming from? Wasn't he building full army all the time? I think he was, but he still had so many resources. 82 villagers working for him as well. He has all the advantages in this game.
I think he's about to find the fishing ships too here. Let's have a look. Did he just miss? He just missed them. There you go. You still have something to fault him on for the rest of the game. Knights moving out. Looks like they're going to try and take out this forward here as best as possible. We've got the monks pushing out. And there's the GG.
Ay. Well, what a clean game by Nicov. A bit of a better start, and it just felt the first 2v2 fight was in favor of Nicov. And from there on, Paladin was behind, right? It kind of felt like 12 minutes to 31 minutes. Just simple snowball.
Well, that's it. Nicov was just playing such a flawless game overall that there was nothing that Paladin could really do to kind of push in. He tried to get back on water. We had Nicov ready for that one. Nicov already had his wall up. He scouted the villager that came in to try and push him. We had just the docks. As soon as he kind of had the dock advantage, he took fishing ship advantage there even further. He just knew exactly what was going on. I can't believe it.
Clean play for sure. And let's just jump into the achievements here. And so military count or military killed, pretty even. Nicov got more conversions than Paladin because he was the defending player. Even killed some of the buildings with his war galleys there and eco. That's just the big difference here.
That's exactly what we're getting into, and it's what kind of happened in this game overall. And it's kind of what we saw in the last Mediterranean game as well. As soon as they kind of have the fish in the map, you really need to make a big play kind of straight away. If you just let it snowball out like we've kind of seen, that advantage just hits hard, just so hard, and there's nothing you can really do about it, because end of the day, you've only got so many town centers, you can only create so many villages at a time. So unless you kind of really push out into that, there's no way you can really deny that snowball unless you get basically right in their face, like you were saying, and do some damage.
Hi, yeah. Nicov just so good in this, and well, we have to question. Should maybe SY decide on their players next time and be well prepared, because honestly, Paladin is a strong player, Mr. Fengxin here, but they still have Lux around. They could have had, well, Yo is playing, so maybe some others could have been good, but well, we'll have more 1v1 series coming in this tournament, and then they can send other players for sure. And even if it was Lux against Nicov, Lux probably wouldn't be the favorite either.
Ooh, I'm kind of interested here, because that's the thing. AM have been playing. That's the thing. They've been playing phenomenal games. They just haven't been able to convert into the wins, which is really sad because they're such a strong team overall. But here, it's looking like Nikov's really showing what basically Aftermath are actually made of, and this is fantastic. Sheer dominance in that game. We'll see exactly what he manages to pull out in the next one. Then we can kind of move from there.
Okay, and I am ready. We will take a look at the next map, but again, will be Dry River, and map number 3 will be Desert. First map was towards Nicov, and Desert could be interesting, but Dry River, we saw a great game before that. I will give the go, and would love to see as an aggressive game as we saw in the room stock against Happy Mr. ECL series.
I'm just happy we got to see Dry River before, so everyone has an expectation of what can happen on it now.
Round 1, same maps each series? No, it is, I believe, ban player A, ban player 2, pick player A, pick player B, ban player A, ban player B, and then the last remaining 7 map. So we will see a lot of variation for sure, but let's just jump into game number 2 here, and that looks like a weird civilization choice to me. Let's see.
Down towards the south of the map in the blue for Aftermath, we have Nicov. He's going to be playing as the Huns. As for SY, we have their red player Paladin towards the north of the map here, playing as the Indians. Interesting, I see what you mean there. Wow, Nicov just out into the center straight away. He knows what's up.
Indeed, and that's the play I want to see. And guys, so Indians, let's just jump over to them and say why they are so strong in this. If we take a look at their advantages, cheaper villagers and fishermen work 15% faster and carry 15% more. So the question is, why isn't everyone going for Indians? Well, I can tell you, they are not part of the Civ pool. This is a forbidden Civ picked by Paladin. But apparently Nicov said, I'm still okay with you picking the civilization. Let's play like real men.
Nicov is ready to game it in this match. I absolutely love it. Forbidden Civ picked, and he's just like, let it ride, my man. We can figure this one out. This is fantastic. As Huns, obviously a hugely aggressive Civ. A Paladin going to have a massive advantage when it comes to the Shorefish as well. I'm really interested to see if Nicov can pull this one out, because obviously it's not going to be a Civ win, but the Civ's really going to help out in terms overall there. This is interesting.
I think like Paladin is playing this horribly wrong here. He should send every single villager into the center. This is just like so bad by Nicov, honestly, no matter if he wins or loses. But this is like, he's having the weaker Civ, Indians against Huns in my opinion, and Indians are the best Civ for this map. I think this is purely stupid if you play a normal 1v1 tournament. But playing this against a team that you try to overtake to go to the offline finals and pulling down all your teammates, I would kill this guy if I was an AM guy.
This is fantastic. Oh man, I don't know which way this is going to go. If Paladin gets the win here, I'm going to feel really bad for Nicov for saying just let it ride, we can just go, whatever works. But at the same time, look, I guess at the same time, you can be one of those guys who's all about the rules and really pushing that one. But I don't know. I guess it's unfair, but at the same time, I'm a little bit surprised you let it ride. But like, good guy Nicov letting it happen. That's nice.
It's not good guy, it's stupid guy, Nicov. Honestly, like this is it. This is it. If we do a show match and something does that, but this is like the biggest tournament. It's a 1 year tournament, 60k prize pool. The guy's going to fly to an offline finals, and AM is underperforming event after event, and then you're putting that on your teammates. That's not ballsiness. That's just stupid, in my opinion.
Well, let's hope then that he can kind of walk in here, get the win, and not feel too bad about it. He's got a good setup. He's got a lot of villages. Look at how they're positioned around that mill as well, in a really good spot. They're utilizing it as best he can. We've got Paladin moving out, trying to get some walls up nice and early, but he's still only got 2 villages on the mill now, and he's kind of pulling in all those elephants as quickly as possible. I think the build is a better choice from Nicov, though.
Yeah, Paladin is playing this completely wrong. He should have every single villager in the center, like 3 on wood as an option, and play this. You can, like, I tested it with Indians. You can do like pop 16, pop 17 uptimes here.
Whoa, that's interesting. That's like when the Magyars first come out, how you could do like a 16 pop scout rush if you were quick enough with it. So, man, this could go either way at this point, really. You've got Paladin, he's got the stronger civ for this kind of map overall, even though he's not kind of utilizing those bonuses. Whereas then you've got Nicov, who's playing, I would say, a lot smarter on a map like this, really abusing that mill in the center there, kind of choosing a little bit better. Still going to get his first, elephant in, well, second elephant in now, only just finishing up the first one. So he's going to have a good amount of food income there as well. So hopefully we can see some smart plays and he can kind of reverse this civilization kind of issue we're having here.
Well, we will see that for sure. First barracks now for Nicov. First barracks for Paladin. Looks like no man-at-arms like we saw from Roomstock in the first game. That looks like scouts against scouts. So we need to take a look at the woodlines. Nikov's woodlines, a bit more open. The one of Paladin, Mr. Fengxin, a bit more compact.
So I guess kind of looking at the maps here, would you say anyone has a direct advantage? Just kind of looking at it, seeing the way it kind of plays out. Obviously, you've got the woodlines from Nicov, probably not quite as nice overall, but who do you think has an advantage, if anyone?
I'd say maybe it was a shorter distance towards the TC, so to the waters, so maybe Paladin. And we see something interesting. I said, yeah, obviously we will see scouts against scouts, but if we see mass spearmen and scout against mass spearmen and skirms, maybe Nicov has a surprise for us in store, because he built an archery range.
It'd be interesting. We actually did see a sneaky villager pick from Nicov over towards Paladin's mill. Did actually manage to get one that was building the barracks / the palisade there. Did lose his scout in turn, but it looks like you might be right here. We might be going back to 2000 level Age of Empires. See a whole skirmishes backed up by spearmen.
Indeed, maybe he saw some of our old casted records and felt like, well, if Coven won against good players in 2001 with skirmishes spearmen, maybe I can do the same. And well, we see some aggression here for sure at the moment. Only one single kill, and well, Nikov's eco kind of distracted, but we could say the same for Mr. Paladin.
Those spears doing their best to tickle these villagers to death, but right now it's just not happening. One getting away on 2 HP, another one just kind of shrugging it off on 16 and getting out of there as best he can right now. But back towards the TC, and I guess that's probably the only downside to kind of playing with this majority of trash right now. You just don't have kind of the damage output to really take out these villagers quickly. Like, we've got this villager here facing off against 3 spears and a skirm, and, you know, he's standing up alright. He looks like he... Oh, he's going to take the fight, and he might just get out of here on 1 HP. And the spear's going to catch up. Give him that final tickle.
Bop.
There we go.
And that's just sloppy by Paladin. Look at how many villagers he has on goats there. Not in the center, already starting to farm. I think like farming is something for late Castle Age, early Imperial Age on this map. Just go into the center. Look at that, how Nicov is abusing the beautiful center. And I want to go over to the resources collected tab, and we see Nicov, he is more than 300 food ahead here and some wood ahead as well. His eco income, just so much better against a Civ where he should be behind.
And I think that's the big kind of thing to look at here as well. How much of a difference this center makes. We saw it in the last game. We're seeing it now in this game. That's it. The transition. It means you don't have to invest that wood to get into farms. You can kind of sit more on your wood. You can sit forward with this. You build 1 mil, which is going to cost you, what, like 100 wood. And then you're kind of good for ages.
And now we see the big engagement here, losing all his scouts against the spearman, skirms against skirmishers fighting off, and suddenly it is military count. What is that? 3, 2, 2? It's very low, and military count is actually 8 here for Mr. Nicov. He's sending in more from the back. That means more villagers are going to be idle.
This has been a really interesting play from Nicov. Again, he's taking command of the map very, very quickly and just pushed Paladin away from these shorefish in the center here, which is probably kind of the big choice here, really, overall. And the scouts are kind of coming back into play, but we're seeing the spears not being just taken out of the mix. And that's the thing. Nikov's continuing to reinforce this at the front here. He's got a lot of skirmishers left over, but the spears just trailing further and further forward right now. He's on the double archery, so of course he's going to have a couple more skirmishers out. He's got fletching on those bad boys as well, so he's got the +1 range, got the +1 damage, and then we've got padded archer armor coming down here now as well. Looks like he's actually planning on getting aggressive with this combo.
Absolutely, and well, skirmishers not really the villager killers, but once they have +1/+1, they get goddamn annoying. At the top, we see some wards from Paladin. Overall population looks pretty brutal that early on, 52 to 35. Military count completely uneven, and oh, there's actually a hole close to the archer range.
Ooh, I like it, and the thing being here as well, Paladin has not had a chance to get his ups yet. He's only just starting to construct his blacksmith now. We're going to have a massive advantage for those skirmishers from Nicov. And the other thing as well, Nikov's actually transitioned to gold behind this as well. So we might actually see some archers coming out into this mix now. And looking at his food count, he's just about ready to go up to castle.
Yeah, indeed, archers wouldn't really make a lot of sense against a guy who's playing massive amount of skirm defense. So he will just think about, okay, you do skirm defense, you're not even on gold. I have all the food income in the world in the center. Well, maybe let's just go for the big night flood. In the meanwhile, Paladin with some pretty but completely useless walls.
Look, he's doing what he can here to kind of, again, survive. And that's kind of the question. Are we surviving here or delaying the inevitable? At this point, I don't want to say delaying the inevitable, but with that click, Nicov there, looking like he's going up to castle, you're right, a couple of nights, and this game's actually over.
He has 15 food at the moment, Mr. Paladin. Cannot even really produce, has only 1 archer range, not even on gold, goes on stone. I think he might be at like 200 food when Nicov actually gets onto castle age. Tries to go a bit wild there at the side, something Nicov isn't really spotting, maybe should spread around there, but trust me, there's no way in the world Paladin can survive the first 4 nights.
Alright, looking at this now, we've got some insane walls kind of across the center here for Paladin, doing his best. Did actually get a mill up towards the center here as well, so trying to get that kind of extra food income. But here come the spears, here come the skirmisher. Nicov knows something's up, and look at that, he's already on top of it. That mill was up for no less than 30 seconds.
Ugly stuff, and well, you build that to give yourself some hope, and then villagers instantly running into some army, trying to micro a bit back, but they're losing quite a lot of HP, and skirms are coming over, but they're losing the fight against Nicov as well.
That said, I still haven't seen a stable or anything get dropped down. In fact, there we go. No, it's another archery. Interesting. So he's not committing to the night play here.
Interesting. Maybe it felt okay. I could lose knights against camels, but I cannot lose mass CA. He's going for the crossbowman upgrade first, I believe. And Paladin is just CGing with 80 food in the bank.
What even happened there? Again, Nicov just up to such a strong start. Managed to push Paladin all the way off this, and he just could not get the resource income. This is a 20-minute game.
And that was, I hope, the weakest game that we are seeing in the stage of Mr. Paladin. Because that was, first of all, the wrong civ picked, then a horrible build-up, and sloppy micro. Nicov just completely outclassed him here, and I'm excited to see Nicov in the next round.
That's it. He's representing AM here so well, and with 2 games like that under his belt, he's got to be feeling confident. And the thing is, as well, he let his opponent take a forbidden Civ there as well, and that was a Civ that had a clear advantage. He must have just been so confident with that play there. Man, that's
Oh
this
man,
is
you
what I
said it
like.
so well. He is representing AM so well. Dumb decisions, big balls, and very good gameplay.
Look, considering the team we've got from AM, I think that makes perfect sense. If he'd stolen a boar there, I reckon it would have been the AM quadruple trio, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's jump into the not too exciting statistics of this game. We will see quite an even KD because he invested quite a lot of skirmishes there in the end. But the resource count, just compare the food count here, Barbecue Jackman.
Whoa, man, it's just I don't kind of even know the amount of stats we have out of this game at the moment. The stats we're getting for ECL is amazing, and the amount we can kind of direct compare is just absolutely insane. And I'm absolutely loving the ability we have to kind of compare all of this.
Indeed, the stats, a beautiful thing. And I know the old days when I was like a 13-year-old kid and played this game and was sitting like after my 8-hour Black Forest game against 2 PCs on easy and was looking through the stats and like, nice, I built 4 castles. And all
Man,
those.
there you go. It's one of those things where it gets so different overall, and man, I'm so excited. The stats in this tournament, they make such a difference overall. Just looking at the amount of food collected there. I think it's one of those things when this map shows up in the rest of the tournament now, everyone knows exactly how this is going to play out. Everyone knows you need that fish. You need the shore fish. And I can't wait to see the brutality we start seeing in the center of the maps as this map becomes more and more